Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be talking about the fact that we have just closed the weekly once again below the 200-week simple moving average, and actually we do have a rejection with the wick of this candle going all the way up to this moving average and the closing price coming back down around 7 or 8%. So if you're new to the channel and you want to show some support, please do leave a like and subscribe. So if we go back to prior bear markets, we can see how the 200-week simple moving average, which is this green line, has historically corresponded to the bottom in the bear market. So if we go to January and August of 2015, we can see how the bottom was once again off of this 200-week simple moving average, and it was also the bottom here in January of 2019 and December of 2018. And we did have a brief candle going back down below the 200-week simple moving average in March of 2020, but again, this was very short-lived, and ultimately we didn't spend too much time below this average. Now currently we are consolidating below this 200-week average, which again today it is at $22,700. If we take a measure move of 200 weeks ago, we can see that 200 weeks ago the closing price was around $6,700, so this will continue to move up as we're averaging higher with closing prices around $20,000. So most likely it will continue to move up something like this, and my expectation is going over into the next few months, whenever we do reclaim this moving average, it is going to be a very key signal and is going to be a very defining thing transitioning into the next bull run. So my expectation again is that if we are starting to reclaim this in the short term, the sooner we can reclaim it, ultimately the more bullish I think Bitcoin is. So if we were to reclaim it in the next few weeks and hold it as support, something like this as an illustration, I would expect this to be a very bullish sign, and that would lead me to believe most likely we do have a bottom in play. But from a timing based perspective, we would probably have a few months of consolidation and retesting this going forward into the next bear market low. Now I do expect though the possibility that we are starting to consolidate further below this. So if we were to say consolidate below this and reject off of it, then I do believe a retest of this 300-week simple moving average is warranted. And today it is at $16,800. If we go back to March of 2020 during this COVID capitulation, this was really the time in Bitcoin's history where it was the furthest extended below this 200-week average ever before. So it was around 29% below the 200-week average, and it corresponded to almost retesting this 300-week simple moving average. And actually it was about 1 or 2% off of this, and I do expect that again, if we are starting to retest this as resistance, hold resistance, and consistently reject, then I do believe we're going to be testing this later on going into the next few months, and I think the bear market will most likely end following a retest of this 300-week simple moving average, because historically that was the bottom in March of 2020, and we really have no other tests of this 300-week average. The most we've gone below is just a few percent in 2015, and the 2019 bear market bottom was basically right on the 200-week average. So my expectation is that most likely if we are starting to reclaim this in the short term, then the bottom is probably in, and we do have some consolidation to go before ultimately from a timing based perspective we form the cycle low. However, if we are starting to continue and reject off of this, then the 300-week will provide support. We could have a wick below that, but most likely from a candle closing perspective, I don't expect the 300-week simple moving average to be lost. So it will be a very, very definitive and key signal ultimately when we do reclaim this 200-week average, because if we are starting to do that, it will ultimately look like a deviation below this average, which is a very powerful signal. It's kind of correspondent to a failed bear breakdown where the bears were not able to hold resistance for a prolonged period of time, and ultimately reclaiming this would be a very bullish signal. So that's the end of my analysis and my thoughts on losing the 200-week simple moving average and this rejection. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you have any comments, suggestions, or feedback, please do leave those below. And as always, I will see you in the next one.